Hello, everyone, and welcome once again. I'm Maita, and I'm starting a series. I'm going to review a couple of romance series and maybe some not romance series. Depends how this goes. Anyways, if you like what I'm doing, you can comment, and depends on the response. Then I'll make some more. So if you want to connect with me, here are my contact details. So let's get into it. Today we're going to be reviewing the Carpathian series by Christine Feehan. I love this author. I was not able to meet her when I was in the States because the time when she was a guest speaker in one of the events, I attended her event, she got sick. Darn, but I met her. I met her son. And yeah. Um, all right. So let's start by giving an overall in the series. This is the first book, Dark Prince. There's a lot. I think there's like 20 already. Wow, there's so much. Okay, the setting is real world. I mean, it's like setting today. It starts in the 80s with Dark Prince and continues up to now because, um, with the latest technology and everything that is now, they're there, but you don't know that they exist. That's the setting. Characters. So the main characters here are the Carpathian people. They are led by the Dark Prince, whose name is Mikhail Dubrinsky. He is starts out as a solitary person, and he's racked by guilt and also the weight of responsibility because the Carpathian people are dying. There's less and less babies born every year, and most of them are males. So how can the rest of them survive if they don't have enough females? Now in book one, Dark Prince, they find out that they can mate with humans. Now, Carpathians are not just ordinary people here. They are, for some people, they would be vampires. They have to drink blood. They can't be in the daytime. The sun burns them. And they have magical skills and powers. They have great powers. They can shapeshift. They can mind control. They can turn into mist. However, their greatest weakness is they cannot reproduce because their females are dying out and the little that are born are males. And to top it all, after 150 to 200 years old of the males growing up, because they live for thousands and thousands of years, actually, until you want to die, then you could just keep on living, actually. So, around after 150 to 200, that's when puberty hits. They start to lose color in their vision and they start to lose emotions as well. So the world is gray and dour and dark, and the only emotion they can feel is pain. That's when the dark whispers start. And when the dark whispers start, you might turn into a vampire. So in that world, a Carpathian can turn into a vampire. And when you turn into a vampire, you lose your soul, and there, that's it. You're undead. There's no going back. Somebody has to kill you because then you go crazy and then you start preying on people and everybody else. Now, there are werewolves here because in Dark Lycan, you will find out that they might be as decimated as the Carpathians, but they're still out there. Now, here in this book, Dark Symphony, one of my favorite books. It's actually nice because it feels like a murder mystery. Uh, Here in Dark Symphony, there is what they call the Scarletti curse. They think that people go mad in their family and things like that. Now, there's this one Carpathian male who just so happens to be in the area. His name is Byron Justicano. And Byron is not a hunter of vampires. So, from the previous books, they're all hunters of vampires and things like that. When you get to Byron's book, he's not. He's a jeweler, and he stumbles upon the Scarletti mansion, and lo and behold, the heiress Antonietta Scarletti, who is blind, by the way, um, is his life mate. The other half of his soul is with her, and he's like, I have to protect her. I have to be with her. And so he starts courting her, and she's like accepting that he's weird as she is, because she thinks maybe he's like me. And he's like, I need to make sure she's mine. Anyway, so um, you find out that the Scarletti curse does not make you go crazy. It's because they're jaguar shifters. They turn into jaguars. And well, some of them cannot shift anymore because diluted blood. They go crazy instead. Well, suffice to say, he solves the mystery and they live happily ever after. I love his book. Go read it. You could read it as a standalone, but I swear it, you're going to have to read everything. All right, so the story follows the Carpathian people. There is a formula to this. First, you will establish what the guy does, what the girl does, what their mundane lives are apart. And then there's the meet cute. How are they going to meet? They usually stumble upon each other in the most literal of sense. And that's where the story starts. So in Mikhail's um, story, in his book, his soul was crying out and he was broadcasting his pain. And it just so happens Raven, a psychic woman. So any psychic women and shifters and lichens can actually become a mate to our Carpathian. So that's how they meet. And of course, trouble will always follow once they start mating. Either it's from fellow humans who think they're evil blood sucking vampires, or fellow Carpathians who turn vampires and now they're after them. So, yeah. And then there will be mages. So, mages are another type of creatures, so to speak. They're human as they come, but they have magical gifts. And the mages have waged war against the Carpathians. They're actually the ones who are decimating the Carpathian people. It could get scientific with, they're using amoebas in the soil to make sure the Carpathian people become infertile. And, yeah, things like that. But you get it. So, in terms of world building, Feehan really builds this magical world that we humans, mundane humans, don't know about. She's established that they're there, they're moving with the times, except we don't know about them. So, by the time after like the 50th book or something, then they start to delve into technology. Because here's the thing, they might be backwards, they might be like 900 years old, 500 years old, 400 years old, and things like that. But they're starting to accept technology because they're like, humans are using technology against us and killing us. Why don't we use the same? And so the younger Carpathians are like, hey, I know how to use a computer. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. And the humans who have integrated into them are like, I'll teach you how to use a computer. I'll teach you how to do the internet. I'll give you a cell phone, things like that. And they start to communicate that way. And it gets interesting because then you have like these young teenagers teaching this 900-year-old Carpathian how to use the cell phone, how to access the internet, how to talk to somebody at, far away, because prior to that they were using their psychic powers to talk, but if it's so far away they're not able to talk to them because bandwidth of your psychic abilities. And now you can do that with Messenger and Skype and all that, and they're like, whoa, where have you been all my life? Technology. So it gets interesting. I like it. My favorite books in the series would be um, Dark Symphony, definitely, and Dark Celebration, because it's a Christmas story with all the characters so far and some hints of future characters from that book on forward. Not to say that I don't have a lot of books that I like in the series. I do. There's just a lot of them. Um, some of the characters that I actually like, apart from Byron, is actually the Dela Cruz brothers. As overbearing as they are, they actually are interesting because they all live in Brazil. They have humans who have generated, like, human families for generations working and living amongst them. And well, yeah, so it's interesting because there's a power dynamic there. They're not slaves or anything. They have like a symbiotic relationship, but they talk in a weird way. It's like, Don Rafael, the plane is ready to go, things like that. It's like, oh, okay, the airplane, they use airplanes. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, they run a cattle ranch because that's what the Dela Cruz family does. They have cattle ranches all over Brazil. Okay. All right. So yeah, looking forward to. I'm looking forward to more of this. There isn't seem to be any stopping Feehan, although her writing styles have evolved. Because she jumps around in different continents. She writes the series. They're everywhere. There's like for Dark Symphony, it's set in Italy. There's one set in Paris, set in Canada, set in Brazil, set in the US. Now that they've set it in the US, the prince, Mikhail, is less involved and has, what's his name? Tariq Asengard, I think that's his name, in charge of people in the US. So the Carpathians in the US are under his command. And I feel like she's she has like I don't know, ghostwriters maybe, because it's not a bad book. It's just that the writing style is quite different. I just can't explain it. When you're a writer and you're reading other people's books, you will see that something's a little off here. It's it's not a subtle change in style, that's for sure. Because some writers, you will say that, oh, this writer evolves. You will see the subtle changes and evolution. In this case, it's such a big jump. It just doesn't feel like her. Maybe she's working with some team of writers to help her because I understand she has a lot of series. I think she has like 4 or 5 book series that she has to fulfill annually. So I will not wonder if she does employ some ghostwriters. I do like her world building, so I hope that 100% of the world building is all on her. I will try to do the other series because she has incredible world building, guys. Her imagination is like whoa, and that's the reason why she is one of my favorite writers. And I can't wait to tackle the other books. Even if you guys did not message, like, or anything or comment, I am gonna be tackling maybe two of her other series because I like her books, but not everything. Okay, and I'm not too fond of her nonfiction. Sorry, guys, I love fiction. Anyways, thanks, guys, and I hope you guys will connect with me and watch my other videos. So I'm trying to build up to having my subscriber list and well, the number of man watch hours so I can start monetizing because I really like to do a lot of this. All right, thanks guys and see you soon. Bye now. See you soon. Bye now.